What's up, guys? This is Automotive Anonymous, and if you're new to my channel, I do car reviews, truck reviews, 0 to 60s, and other cool stuff like that. Today was the unveiling of the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek Sport. What better vehicle to have in front of you guys than a brand new 2023 Subaru Crosstrek Sport? I've already done a review of the 23 Premium, Sport, and Limited. If you're interested in those videos, you're welcome to check them out. But otherwise, we just saw the 20-minute unveiling video by Subaru of the new 24 Crosstrek Sport. So what is different about this 4th gen? We're going to dive right into it. And I want to know your thoughts in the comments. Are you guys going to spend the time and the money to find a 2023 while you still have the time over the next probably 6 or 7 months? Or are you going to wait for the opportunity to be one of the first early adopters of the new gen, the 3rd gen, the 2024? These have a special place in my heart if you've been following the channel for any time, because I owned a 2019 Premium with the 2-liter. For 2 years, I put 40,000 miles on it. I haven't had a single issue when I owned it, and then it was replaced by the Subaru Outback Wilderness, which I've been happily owning for almost a year and a half now. There's a lot to talk about with the new Crosstrek, so I'll insert some of the photos that I have of it from various sources. There's not a lot of information out there, and then there's a little bit that's been revealed for the Japanese market. I'll share some of that. I'm assuming we're gonna get the same treatment. But for the new Crosstrek, it gets a slightly more aggressive front end, a bigger grille. It still is gonna have the 2-level X mode, similar to what this Sport has. It's obviously different wheels and tires set up on it. And Subaru's trying to keep fun and refined in the formula. So it's supposed to have a stiffer chassis and just basically upgraded systems throughout. More advanced Eyesight system. This one you can still see has the 2 camera. We're gonna get the 4th gen Eyesight system on the new one that has the 3rd camera integrated. It's going to have a wider view and better pedestrian and bike ability to sense those things. Standard forward collision braking. And something that a lot of us weren't looking forward to, the 11.6-inch screen. It looks really cool. In theory, it's awesome. In practicality, not so much. So let's go inside and I'll show you what that looks like. This one has the upgraded 8-inch screen, part of optional package 22 with the moonroof and the blind spot detection. And it has a CD player. I really do like the layout of this one. You still have the plug-ins down there, the 12-volt USBs, aux, heated seat buttons right there, cup holders. But here is what the 24 is said to look like. It is nice that they're keeping the heated seat buttons down here, at least on the Japanese model, and you can see that the touchscreen does not have those integrated. So that's one increased convenience over all the other vehicles with the 11.6. Otherwise, the Crosstrek has done really well for itself. It sells about 200,000 a year. Globally, they've sold over 1 million of these things now since the 1st gen was unveiled. That screen does have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, which is nice, but a lot of the features of this seem to be pretty similar. It is rumored that it will have the 360-degree camera and then slightly increased sound dampening through the roof and seating bolstering and support so that it's a little bit easier to go on longer drives. Honestly, I never had a problem when I owned a Crosstrek, but it is nice that Subaru is just trying to make it that much better for us. You may have noticed it wasn't talked about, but the E-Boxer, what was talked about are the powertrains. The 2-liter with 152 horse follows, as well as the 2.5 Boxer, like this has, the Sport and Limited, with 182 horse. But we're told on the Subaru website it's going to be more powerful than ever. So what does that mean? That wasn't announced today. Honestly, guys, I'm assuming that's the e-box or probably the hybrid option, which, as we know from the second gen, if you really wanted a hybrid Crosstrek, go for it, but they're expensive. You lose several cubic feet of cargo capacity in the back where the battery's held, and honestly, it's slower than the 2.5 Boxer, but you might be getting better MPG depending on how much you can run off of battery only compared to just normal hybrid mode. Honestly, guys, I think this is still a really good car. What is nice though about the third gen is it's set to start at the same price. The base model is $24,995, which is pretty cool. They're not upping the price, but you're also not getting a whole lot more other than a few more standard safety features. You of course will get the WRX cladding, at least on the Sport it shows, where you have a few of those miniature vents right there. I don't know how helpful that is on the WRX when you're likely going 10 miles per hour on gravel or 80 miles on the interstate, but hopefully it looks pretty good in person and it's not too small, too kind of embarrassing of why did they put that there. It must have some function if it's from Subaru, other than we know that they really like their cladding. I do think it looks pretty good on this white model, how it contrasts, but cladding seems to be the way that a lot of manufacturers are going. I recently reviewed a Mazda CX-30, which is their version of this, but it has a very powerful turbo engine. I wish Subaru unveiled a more powerful engine other than whatever the e-Boxer is that we're awaiting. But I suppose if they're selling more and more of these each year, they probably don't feel the need to spend a lot of money for research and development to make a whole new powertrain. Maybe if sales of this started dying off, they would think of a new way to kind of jumpstart that. But as mentioned in the unveiling video, this is the fastest gaining popularity model of any Subaru, basically ever. Of the Crosstrek's existence, it's been a top safety pick for 11 years, with 4 years of those being top safety pick pluses. Having the improved Eyesight for detecting bikes and pedestrians with the third, going from the third to the fourth gen system, I think is going to be really cool. After driving dozens of Subarus, the Crosstrek really seems to be the little brother that gets all the hand-me-downs. The systems don't work as well. Heated seats don't work as well. The Eyesight system and the lane correction doesn't work quite as well as like the Outback and the Forester. So it seems like we're just getting a lot of the technology that those big brothers to this have, while keeping the same convenient, kind of fun, smaller size that for a lot of people works really well, because unless you need a whole lot of extra cargo capacity, why not drive something a little bit smaller, more nimble on the road, handles better, easier to park? It's pretty fun. We're still going to have the option of the Harman Kardon speakers on the new one, with the dual mode, X mode, and hill descent. And then Subaru claims 120 total cubic feet of passenger volume. But that includes everything. That includes the front half of the vehicle, which isn't practical in most situations. Otherwise, these are still likely going to have about 21 cubic feet of trunk capacity and about 55 feet with the seats down, which is pretty competitive for a vehicle of this size. I think the 360-degree camera is going to be a really cool option. We'll see which specs that comes on. Or you can see the cutout right there for where, if this model had it on the front. And then if you've seen any of my like Ascent videos or any of the other Subarus that have it, it just adds on the camera onto the side mirrors. Overall, I think the new Crosstrek being more bold in design is going to look really cool. I think as it gains ground, you know, and is more profitable for Subaru, they'll just be able to keep making more variations of it. It is nice that we can get multiple seat cloth materials, cloth, leather, Startex. There's a lot of variation. I just wish there was better engine options like some of those competing vehicles offer. Anyways, guys, I want to know your thoughts. Would you buy this one? Would you wait for the new one? I do think the new one is going to look cool, but it seems like it's mostly just going to have upgraded tech. Not an upgraded powertrain, not a whole lot else. And like always, guys, if you enjoy my video, if you like my style, please consider liking this video to help it get shared, or subscribe to the channel if you want to bookmark it and watch more of my content. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care.